Well, if you are outside, you got to protect yourself from the sun. And sunscreen, of course, extremely important. But even more important, maybe, is using sunscreen correctly. Denver 7's Danielle Kreuter spoke with a dermatologist and explains just how to get the most protection.
Dermatologist Dr. Whitney High never goes anywhere without his trusty umbrella, and there's good reason.
Cancer that's caused by the sun is the most common cancer of mankind.
You probably already know some of the sunscreen basics. At least a whole ounce of sunscreen for all of your exposed skin, reapply every 2 hours, and look for a UVA and UVB protection.
Most Americans really skimp and don't really put it on quite at that density.
When put on properly, SPF 30 blocks 97% of ultraviolet light, but that number drops significantly if it's not put on correctly.
If you're choosing SPF 70 and you're putting it on like an average person, you're probably getting about SPF 35.
When it comes to chemical versus mineral sunscreen, Dr. High says the SPF should work the same regardless. However, you may have a preference depending on what ingredients your skin can tolerate.
Chemical sunscreens take solar energy and absorb it through chemical bonds. Physical sunscreens, on the other hand, they act like little tiny mirrors, and the light that strikes your skin is reflected off.
It's something worth taking seriously, regardless of how much time you spend outside. We went under the microscope.
This is the most common cancer of humans, this basal cell carcinoma.
You might be surprised just what kind of sun exposure causes this. This kind of thing can happen even if you're not outside constantly.
Even if you're not outside constantly, but you're getting too much sun intermittently. You enjoy water skiing or skiing outdoors in the wintertime where it's bright sun and elevation. All those things can cause intermittent heavy solar damage, which is more tightly associated with melanoma and basal cell carcinoma.
Heading into the rest of the summer, keep in mind the most cancer-causing wavelengths hit around 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Even if it's cloudy out, those will only block about 20% of UV light. And for those new to Colorado, higher altitude means more exposure to UV light.
It's that you're closer to the thinner atmosphere, and a greater amount of atmosphere would have filtered more of that ultraviolet light.
I'm Danielle Kreuter, Denver 7.